Good day, Dominicanos! I'm Karen Mayuyu from the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration, major in Marketing. And for today's video, we are going to tackle the training and development, the Chapter 8 in International Trading. For this chapter, it is all about how to assess, develop, implement, and measure an effective training program. So sa panahon ngayon, there are various types of training na ang ginagawa. So even sa training, may mga certain changes na in order for trainings to be highly interactive, technical, and interesting. So the next one is the essence or importance of training and development. So in any effective companies, there are various training to make sure employees can perform his or her job. At syempre, para ma-improve ang skills and abilities ng mga employees. So even though employees went through recruitment and selection process, they still need training in order to know how the company functions. So if there is lack of training, of course, may mga negative impact ito sa kumpanya. Tulad ng loss of productivity, loss of customer and poor relationships between employees and managers. Steps to take in training an employee. For effective employee training, there are 4 steps. First, the new employee goes through an orientation, and then he or she will receive an in-house training on job-specific areas. Next, the employee should assign a mentor, and then as comfort with the job duties grows, he or she may engage in external training. So the first step in training is orientation. The goal is for employees to gain an understanding of the company policies and learn how their specific job fits into the big picture. At syempre, it encourages employees' confidence and it helps the new employee adapt faster to the job. So here are the goals of the orientation. First is to reduce startup cost. If an orientation is done right, it can get the employee up to speed on various policies and procedures. And in that way, yung mga employees makakapag-start na agad dahil alam at naiintindihan nila yung mga basic regulations sa company. So next is to reduce anxiety. So starting a new job can be stressful. So one goal of an orientation is to reduce the stress and anxiety people feel when going into an unknown situation. So next is to reduce employee turnover. Employee turnover tends to be higher when employees don't feel valued or are not given the tools to perform. An employee orientation can show that the organization values the employee and provides tools necessary for a successful entry. So for the fourth one is to save time for the supervisor and co-workers. A well-done orientation makes for a better prepared employee, which means less time having time to teach the employee. The fifth one is to set expectations and attitudes. If employees know from the start that the expectations are, they tend to perform better. Likewise, if employees learn the values and attitudes of the organization from the beginning, there is a higher chance of a successful tenure at the company. So the next step is in-house training. In-house training programs can be training related to a specific job, such as how to use a particular kind of software. In a manufacturing setting, in-house training might include an employee learning how to use a particular kind of machinery. So here are examples of in-house training. These are ethics training, sexual harassment training, multicultural training, communication training, management training. For the next one is external training. External training includes any type of training that is not performed in-house. This is usually the last step in training, and it can be ongoing. It can include sending an employee to a seminar to help further develop leadership skills or helping pay tuition for an employee who wants to take a marketing class. So for the last step is mentoring. Mentorship program can help ensure the new employee not only feels welcome, but is paired up with someone who already knows the ropes and can help guide the new employee through any on-the-job challenges. Mentors are selected based on experiences, willingness, and personality. So after the employee has completed orientation and in-house training, companies see the value in offering mentoring opportunities as the next step in training. Sometimes, a mentor may be assigned during in-house training. A mentor may be a supervisor, but often a mentor is a colleague who has the experience and personality to help guide someone through process.
Types of training. Technical or technology training is a type of training meant to teach the new employee the technological aspect of the job. Technical training addresses software or other programs that employee use while working for the organization. Ang technical training dito tinuturuan ang mga employees about sa system o software na ginagamit ng isang business, especially nowadays, ang technology ay hindi na nawawala sa operasyon ng business. For example, ang cashier kailangan niyang matutunan ang paggamit ng computer para may sagawa ng kahirang pag-input ng mga purchase item ng isang customer. Next, quality training refers to familiarizing employees with the means of preventing, detecting, and eliminating non-quality items, usually in organizations that produce a product. This type of training provides employees with the knowledge to recognize products that are not up to quality standards and teaches them what to do in this scenario. Quality training is a type of training that familiarizes all employees with the means to produce a good quality product. Ang quality training ay isang aspect naman kung saan ang mga employee ay isinasayos ang kalidad ng mga produkto na inilalabas sa market ng company. Dapat maging pamilyar ang mga employees sa mga product na maaaring makasira sa pag-provide ng good quality product ng isang business. Next, skills training includes proficiencies needed to actually perform the job. The things that employee actually need to know to perform the job. Skills training focuses on the skills that the employee actually needs to know to perform their job. A mentor can help with this kind of training. Ang skills training, ito naman ang mga skill o physicals na kasanayan ng isang empleyado para maisagawa ang trabaho. Kinakailangan ang patnubay ng mentor upang maisagawa ng maayos ang ganitong training. Next, soft skills training. Soft skills refers to personality traits, social grace, communication, and personal habits that are used to characterize relationship with other people. This is necessary soft skills might include how to motivate others, maintain small talk, and establish rapport. Soft skills are those that do not relate directly to our job but are important. Soft skills training may training someone on how to better communicate and negotiate or provide good customer service. Ang soft skills training ay tumutukoy sa magandang pakikitungo sa ibang tao upang magkaroon ng magandang kaugnayan sa iba, lalo na sa mga customers. Kinakailangan ma-establish ang good communication skills para makapag-provide ng magandang customer service. Next, professional training and legal training, a type of training required to be up to date in one's own professional field. For example, tax law change often, and as a result, an accountant for H&R Block must receive yearly professional training on new tax codes. Professional training and legal training, madalas na natitrain dito ang mga CPA or lawyer ng isang kumpanya dahil kinakailangan update updated ang mga kumpanya ukol sa tax code at sa mga bagong regulasyon na makakapekto sa mga operasyon ng business. Next, team training, a process that empowers team to improve decision-making, problem-solving, and team development skills to achieve business results. The goal of team training is to develop cohesiveness among team members, allowing them to get to know each other and facilitate relationship building. Team training, ang isang business ay binubuo ng maraming tao. Ang team training ay nakakatulong upang magkaroon ng magandang samahan ang bawat kasapi sa production ng company para maging produktibo ang bawat isa sa kanilang kanyang-kanyang task. Next, some reasons for team training. Improving communication, making the workplace more enjoyable, motivating a team, getting to know each other, getting everyone onto the same page including goal setting, teaching the team self-regulation strategies, helping participants to learn more about themselves, identifying and utilizing the strength of team member, improving team productivity, practicing effective collaboration with team members. Next, managerial training, a program that seeks to transition an employee from having a team member to team leader mindset. The goal of this training program is to increase productivity, one of the organization's core values. Managerial training, ang training na ito ay sinasagawa sa isang member ng company na na-promote bilang isang manager upang maging mas mahusay siyang leader. Next, safety training. Safety training is a type of training that occurs to ensure employees are protected from injuries caused by work-related accidents. Safety training is especially important for organizations that use chemical or other types of hazardous material in their production. Safety training, ito ang mga kasanayan at precaution na dapat maging pamilyar ang mga empleyado para sila ay maging ligtas sa anumang aksidenteng pwedeng mangyari sa kanilang workplace, lalo na sa mga company na gumagamit ng chemical at hazardous materials during the production. Next, safety training can also include the following. Safety training can also include evacuation plans, fire drills, and workplace violence procedures. First, eye safety. Second, first aid. Third, food service safety. Fourth, hearing protection. Fifth, asbestos. Six, construction safety. 7, hazmat safety.
Good day everyone. So the next topic is all about the training delivery methods. So depending on the type of training occurring, you may choose one deliver method over another. This section discusses the type of delivering methods we can use to execute the types of training. Keep in mind, however, the most good training programs will use a variety of delivery methods. So the first training delivery method is on-the-job coaching training delivery. So, on-the-job coaching is one way to facilitate employee skills training. On-the-job coaching refers to an approved person training an employee on the skills necessary to complete tasks. A manager or someone with experience show the employee how to perform the actual job. The selection of an on-the-job coach can be done in a variety of ways, but usually the coach is selected based on personality, skills, and knowledge. This type of skills training is normally facilitated in-house. The disadvantage of this training revolves around the person delivering the training. If he or she is not a good communicator, the training may not work. So, likewise, if this person has other things to do, he or she may not spend as much this required to train the person and provide guidance. in this situation, training can frustrate the new employee and may result in turnover. Next is the mentoring and coaching training delivery. So, mentoring is also a type of training delivery. A mentor is trusted, experienced advisor who was direct investment in the development of an employee. Mentoring is a process by which an employee can be trained and developed by an experienced person. So, normally, mentoring is used as a continued method to train and develop an employee. One disadvantage of this type of training is possible communication style and personality conflict. It can also create overdependence in the mentee or micromanagement by the mentor. This is more different that on the job coaching, which tends to be short-term and focuses on the skills needed to perform a particular job. Next is the job shadowing training delivery. So, shadowing is a training delivery method that places an employee who already has the skills with another employee who wants to develop those skills. So, for example, an apprenticed electrician would shadow and watch the journeyman electrician perform the skills and tasks and learn by watching. So, eventually, the apprentice will be able to learn the skills to do the job alone. And the downside to this type of train is the possibility that person job shadowing may learn bad habits or shortcuts to performing that the person who shadowing by the shortcut for performing tasks that may not be beneficial to the organization. So next is the brown bag lunch training delivery. So brown bag lunch are a training delivery method meant to create an informal atmosphere. So as the name suggests, brown bag lunch training is one in which the training occurs during lunchtime. So employee bring their foods and someone presents training information to them. The trainer could be HR or management or even another employee showing a new technical skills. So brown bag lunch can also be an effective way to perform their team training as it bring people together in a more relaxed atmosphere. Some companies offer brown bag lunch training for personal development as well. So for example, HR might can want to bring a specialist on 401 kilometer plans or perhaps an employee provides a slide presentation on a trip he or she has taken during the things learned on the trip. So one disadvantage of this type of training can be low attendance and garnering enough interest from employees who may not want to work during their breaks. So there can also inconsistency in message if training is delivery and not everyone is present to hear the message. Next is the web-based training delivery. So web-based training delivery has a number of names. It could be called a learning or internet-based, computer-based, or technology-based learning. No matter what it is called, as web-based training involved in the use of technology to facilitate training. So there are two types of web-based learning. First is the synchronous learning uses instructor-led facilitation, and asynchronous learning is self-direct and there is no instructor facilitating the course. So there are several advantages to web-based training. First is it is available on demand, does not require travel, and can be cost efficient. However, disadvantage might include an impersonal aspect to the training and limited bandwidth or technology capabilities. Next is the job swapping training. So, job swapping is a method for training in which two employees agree to change job for a period of time. So, of course, with this training delivery method, other training will be necessary to ensure the employee learns the skill needed to perform the skills of the new job. Job swap option can be motivational to employee by providing a change of scenery. So it can be great for the organization as well to cross-train employees different types of jobs. So however, the time spent learning can result in unproductive time and lost revenue. Next is the vestibular training delivery. So in vestibular training is a performed near the worksite in conference rooms, lecture rooms, and classroom. So this might be an appreciate method to deliver orientations and some skills-based training. So for example, to become a journeyman electrician and apprentice perform job shadowing on the job training and vestibular training to learn the law and codes related to electricity installation. So during the busy holiday seasons, Macy's uses vestibular training to teach new hires how to use the cash register system and provide skills training on how to provide great customer service. Next is the international assignment training. So, since we are working within a global economy, this might be necessary to provide training the employee who are moving overseas or working overseas. Up to 40% of international assignments are terminated early because of a lack of international training, ensuring success overseas in reliant upon the local employees learning how to navigate in the new country. So the following topics might be include in this type of training. First is the cultural difference and similarities. Second, in the insight and daily living in the country. Third is the social norms and etiquette. And lastly is the communication training such as language skills.
My name is Kubaco Bian Roy, and I will be discussing 8.5 to 8.5.6. Designing a training program. Learning objectives are be able to design a training program framework, understand the uses of an application of a career development program. Training program framework development. When developing your training plan, there are a number of considerations. training is something that should be planned and developed in advance. The first two is needs assessment and learning objectives. This part of framework development asks you to consider what kind of training is needed in your organization. And the learning styles, making sure that to teach a variety of learning styles is important to development and training programs. And delivery mode, what is the best way to get your message across? Is web-based training are more appropriate? And budget, how much money do you have to spend on this training? In delivering in delivery style, will the training be self-paced or instructor-led? What kind of decision and interactivity can be developed in conjunction with this training? Okay. And in audience consideration, who will be part of this training? Kasama ba yung mga accounting people or marketing people? What are the job responsibilities of this individual? And sa content development, what needs to be taught and how will you sequence the information? Yung sa timelines, kung gaano katagal aabutin yung para develop yung training. And kung meron bang deadlines na kailangan ipasa sa training or kailangan ma-complete. Tapos yung sa communication of training naman, dito maano ng employee kung pwede ba sila sa training na yon. At yung sa measuring effectiveness naman, dito mo maano kung yung training na ginawa nyo is nag-work ba? Kung nagamit ba nila yung mga trainings na yun. And needs assessment naman, meron siyang tatlong levels of training needs assessment. Yung una dyan is yung organizational assessment. This type of needs assessment, we can determine the skills, knowledge, and abilities a company needs to meet the strategic objectives. Yun nga yung sa organizational assessment naman, sila sa skills, knowledge, saka abilities. Tapos yung sa occupational task naman, yung pangalawa is this type of assessment looks at the specific task, skills, knowledge, and abilities required to do jobs within organization. At saka yung last, yung individual assessment. Individual assessment naman is an individual assessment looks at the performance of an individual employee and determine what kind of training should be accomplished for that individual. Kumbaga, yung sa individual, tumitingin sila sa kung talagang kailangan niyang maging training at saka kailangan niyang maging kung anong kaya niyang gawin para maano yung training na yun. Parang ganun. As learning objectives, after you have determined what type of learning should occur, learning objectives for the training should be set. A learning objective is what you want the learner to be able to do, explain, or demonstrate at the end of the training period. Good learning objectives are performance-based and clear. And the end result of the learning objectives can be observable or measured in some ways. At saka, ito yung mga ibang example. First is to be able to explain the company's policy on sexual harassment and gives example of sexual harassment. Yung pangalawa is able to show the proper way to take customer's order. Tapos yung pangatlo is yung perform a variety of customer needs analysis using company software. Tapos yung pang-apat is yung understand and utilize the new expense tracking software. Yung panglima is explain the safety procedure in handling chemicals. Yung pang-anim, be able to explain the types of communication styles and strategies to effectively deal with each styles. Tapos yung pang-pito is demonstrate ethics when handling customers' complaints. And yung last is yung pang-walo, be able to effectively delegate on employees. Tapos an effective trainer tries to develop training meets the three different learning styles. Yung una yung visual learner. Ito yung nakakaano silang pictures or experience na yung visual learner often says things such as I can see what you're saying, or this looks good. Ganyan. A visual learner is best reached using graphics, pictures, and figures. Yun naman sa pangalawa yung auditory learner. An auditory learner learns by sound. An auditory learner might say, if I hear you right, or what do you hear about this situation? This auditory learner will learn by listening to a lecture or to someone explaining how to do something. Yung pangalawa is kinesthetic learner. A kinesthetic learner learns by developing feelings towards an experience. This type of learners tend to learn by doing rather than listening or seeing someone else to do it. This type of learner will often say things such as, this feels right. Most individual uses more than one type of learning style, depending on what kind of information they are processing. For example, in class you might be a visual learner, but when learning how to change attire, you might be a kinesthetic learner. Delivery mode. Depending on the type of training that you need to be delivered, you will likely to choose a different mode to deliver the training. An orientation might lend itself best to vestibule training, while sexual harassment training may be better for web-based training. When choosing a delivery mode, it is important to consider the audience and budget constrictions. For example, Oakwood Worldwide, a provider of temporary housing, recently won the top 125 training awards, its training and development programs. 27, it offers in-class and online classes for all associates and constantly add to its course catalog. This is a major recruitment as well as a retention tool for its employees. In fact, the company credits this program for retaining 25% of its workforce for 10 years or more. Yung sa catalog naman na to, nandito yung delivery method, yung kind of delivery method, tsaka yung mga type of training suggested. Yung sa type of delivery method, meron siyang on-the-job coaching. Tapos yung mentor, meron siyang brown bag lunch, web-based, job shadowing, job swapping, vestibule training. Yun. Halos magkaano sila. Yung sa on-the-job coaching, yung type of suggested training nila is yung meron silang technical training, skills training, managerial training, and safety training. Pagdating naman sa mentor, meron siyang technical training, skills training, managerial training, meron din siya, at safety training. Yung sa brown bag lunch naman, nakapasok dito yung quality training, soft skills training, professional training, safety training. At sa web-based naman, meron nakapasok dito na technical training, quality training, skills training, soft skills training, professional training, team training, and managerial training and safety training. Sa job shadowing naman, meron din siyang technical training, meron din siyang quality training, skills trainings and safety training din meron siya. Yung sa job swapping naman, as magkapareho lang, para-pares lang meron technical, quality, skills, professional, team, managerial, and safety training. Yung sa vestibule training naman, meron din, pares lang din meron siya technical, quality, skills, soft skills, professional, team training, and managerial training and safety training. Sa budget naman, how much money do you think the training will cost? This type of training performed will depend greatly on the budget. Kumbaga, yung sa budget, kung magkano yung total cost na gagastusin kung magko-conduct ka ng ganong training. And that's all. Thank you.
Next is delivery style. So what is the best style to deliver the training? Taking into considerations the delivery method. So start talking about with the delivery style and what is the best style to deliver the training. And you've got take into considerations the delivery particular method. So, determine the right learning strategies best suit to the learning styles of your employee audience to ensure the training is successful. Next is audience. How long have the trainings been with the organization? So, an audience analysis the process of determining the specific attributes of a group being trained as well as potential barriers to their success. So, these informations, ito yung ginagamit to decide what training methods will be most effective. Content development requires a development of learning objectives and a brief outline of the major topics. Content development is the process of designing, managing, and maintaining programs. With that outline, you can fill in the major topics with information. So, based sa information, ito ay maaari kang bumuo ng module or PowerPoint, slides, activities, at iba pang learning techniques. Timeliness, in what frame should an employee complete the training? Timeliness may be required to ensure the training has been done. This is often the case for safety training. Usually, the training should be done before the employee starts. And next is communication. So, how will you communicate the available training to employees? So, once you have developed your training, your next consideration is how you will communicate the available training to employees and a situations such as orientation. You will need to communicate to managers, staff, and anyone involved in the training and training the timing and um, kailangan kailangan nila itong i-confirm na akma ito sa kanilang schedule. According to Kirkpatrick, there are 4 levels of training evaluations. It's the standard to evaluate training effectiveness. So the first level, reaction. So reaction, the degree to which participants find the learning favorable, engaging, and relevant to their jobs. The second is learning, the degree to which participants acquire the intended knowledge, skill, attitude, confidence, and commitment based on their participations and the learning. So the third level is behavior, the degree to which participants apply what they learn during training and they are back on the job. So the last results. So the degree to which targeted outcomes occur has a result of the training and the support and accountability package. Last is the career development training process. So you want to identify your employees' career goals and interests. There's all retention and development. So what are your employees' career goals and interests? Identity training too much that prepare the career development plan and meet with the employee or employees to discuss how to do that, and of course the revise and plans such as needed. So then I think at the center all around, ito ay ang mga pangangailangan o layunin ng organisasyon.
So that's all for this video. Thank you so much!